Hey everybody, welcome to ABA Inside Tracks March 2023 preview episode. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me as always are my fabulous co-hosts.
Hello, Rob. It's me, Diana.
And it's me, your best friend, Jackie.
And I should say on this preview where we talk about everything that is coming out on ABA Inside Track and some fun things happening in the world around us, I usually say, as always, but Jackie, we had a snow day last preview, and you weren't able to join us.
No, because I was snowed in.
That's right. And even though it's March and it's New England and we'd expect to have had like 10 more snow days, it really has not been that snowy a season.
It's been balmy.
It's been a bit balmy.
Downright balmy.
It's cold inside, but balmy outside. How is that possible?
I've been wearing my bathing suit. Just my bathing suit.
Bikinis for all!
No, I have a one piece, so I just wear my one piece around.
I also have a one piece, like an old-timey one, with stripes.
Ours match, actually. And I've been wearing my sneakers without
That's
socks.
why you're the BFF.
Yep.
We always go down to the pier every summer and have a soda phosphate.
Anyway.
All right, well, let's see.
In your wool swimming costume.
I mean, it would be quite comfy right now.
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
true. Although when you swim, you would then sink to the bottom because your bathing suit is much too heavy. Bathing suit technology sure has come a long way.
It really has.
Well, we have a whole slate of episodes. February was a bit short, and I can't believe it's already time to record a preview for March. Luckily, we've already started recording some of these episodes because there's a lot. March is a long month.
Yes, that's right. So this March happens to have 5 Wednesdays in it. This happens a couple times a year. So that means that there will be 4 full-length episodes released in March. Shall I review them?
Please.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, great. I will do that then. So the first one that we have upcoming...
Keep stalling, Diane.
We had a chance to talk with Dr. Ivy Chong, and she reviewed with us the process that she and a large group have gone through in developing a standards set for autism outcome measures. And we talked about so many different resources with this episode, but they're not kind of like traditional resources. So I will just review a few of them for you. One of them was an immediate press release titled "International Experts Launch a Foundational Set of Standards to Measure and Enhance Health and Care for Autism Spectrum Disorder Globally." That came out in 2021. And the group that they're referencing is ICHOM, the International Consortium for Health Outcomes Measurement. So I guess they would be kind of the author on that thing.
That seems fair.
Yep. And then we had many other materials that kind of paired up with that. We also had an article that we reviewed tangentially titled "Defining and Classifying Clinical Indicators for Quality Improvement." That was by Maines and published in the Journal for the International Society for Quality in Healthcare back in 2003. Yeah, that's good for that one, I think. Do you agree, Rob? Is there any more you want to make sure I mention?
I mean, there were a lot of materials.
Okay, I mean, I can keep going. Then there was a longish brochure titled "Helping Measure Person-Centered Care," and that was put out by the Health Foundation back in 2014. And there was also a PowerPoint presentation by Harvard Law School titled "Value-Based Healthcare," which was released by Kaplan in 2018. There we go. That feels...
all the citations.
That feels sufficient. Yes, it is a lot. Okay.
Show notes.
So there's that. Then we also had the pleasure of having 2 guest speakers come on with us to discuss assent and self-determination. And that was Alex Kishbaugh and Dr. Haley Steinhauser. And they came on to talk about their article, "Rethinking Noncompliance as a Skill and Promoting Self-Advocacy." That was published in Autism Spectrum News in 2022. Kishbaugh, Steinhauser, and Bird were the authors on that one.
You know what they say about bird, don't you?
What?
It's a word.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
A bird is the bird is
pretty
the word,
sure-
and then a bird.
Here's the thing, though,
the bird
Jackie.
is
He's
the
not
word.
actually referencing that song. He's referencing the Family Guy that's referencing that song.
Well, I was singing
no.
the song. So I want you to know, this is really important, that I used to sing that song standing on top of my washer machine in my in my laundry room when I was a child from a record.
Wow. Diana, I am not just referencing Family Guy. I'm actually referencing its use in the Stanley Kubrick film Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
let me just push my glasses up a little bit higher as I say that.
Well, I guess that's fine. And then we are also going to record a live episode. Wait a minute. When is the live episode coming out?
We've already recorded it.
It's already
When people
happened.
are hearing this. We've already recorded it. Although we have not actually recorded it.
Oh my God. Time travel is really hard, folks. So if you came to the live episode recording, then you already know that we did a live episode topic on ethics. And we put out some ethics topics. The public has spoken and they wanted us to talk about the ethics related to conversion therapy. Now, our view on the ethics of conversion therapy is not going to be a secret, but we did go through and pull up some other old articles that should also have attention brought to them. So if you missed the live, like actually being present for the live recording, then you can now hear it in March as an actual recording. And there's...
Oh, and if as a third option, so you either already were at it, you're going to listen to it, but if you say, I not only want to hear it, but I want to see it, and I want a CE for no additional charge, then you still can subscribe on patreon.com/ABA Inside Track to get access to that right now as you're listening to this. It's there. The video and a code for an ethics CE for no additional charge.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me sell that a little
So
bit
I'm
harder.
now going to tell you the titles of these articles. Please understand that the language used in these titles is not necessarily the language that we would use today. And the reason why we're talking about them is because they're outdated. So here we go. Fading to Increase Heterosexual Responsiveness in Homosexuals by Barlow and Agras, published in Java 1973.
Yuck. I'm just saying it because the title's yucky.
Have you looked at some of the visuals in that one yet?
Identifying
yucky.
Specific Erotic Cues in Sexual Deviations by Audiotape Descriptions by Abel, Blanchard, Barlow, and Mavisakalian. That was in Java 1975. Implications of the Stereotyping and Modification of Sex Role by Nordyke, Baer, Etzel, and LeBlanc.
That's my new favorite article.
Java 1977.
It's anti-conversion therapy.
Atypical Gender Development and Psychosocial Adjustment by Rakers, Java 77. What types of sex role behavior should behavior modifiers promote? ? By Winkler, Java 77. And then finally, more recently, Statement on Conversion Therapy and Practices, position statement put forth by ABAI in 2022.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So great. And then finally, to wrap up the month of March, we are going to do an episode, or we did do an episode on idiosyncratic FAs. Lots and lots to discuss out there related to this topic, so we're going to do just that. We have 3 articles to review. The first is, then these are in no particular order, Interview Informed Synthesized Contingency Analysis ISCA, Novel Interpretations and Future Directions by Coffey, Schaller, Jessel, Nye, Bain, and Dorsey. That was in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2020. Idiosyncratic Variables That Affect Functional Analysis Outcomes, a review from 2001 to 2010 by Schlickenmeyer, Roscoe, Rooker, Wheeler, and Doobie, and that was in Java 2013. And finally, Interview Informed Synthesized Contingency Analyses, 30 Replications and Reanalysis by Jessel, Hanley, and Gamagami. That was in Java 2016.
Great.
That's it. I'm done.
Excellent. Well, so those are all of the episodes coming out, have been coming out, did already come out. I mean, whichever way you want to think about it. A couple other fun related things to us here at ABA Inside Track is we have every quarter a book club come out where we talk for 2 hours. Our most recent one was Between Now and Dreams, a guide to parenting for parents of autistic children by Eli Rosales and Henkel Wolf, which
That still sounds like a Radiohead song.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a great title. They really nailed the title. And we talked about that for our winter book club, but that only just came out a little while ago. Perhaps you haven't heard the preview or you haven't gotten access to the full thing. The full episodes are available for patrons, and then about a year later, we do put them out on the free feed. But we want to make sure we have plenty of time because this is one of many jobs we have, so we give ourselves a little bit of leeway as to what our spring book club will be. But regardless of when we do it, there's a poll that comes out about a month and a half before for patrons to vote on our book. And the topic was all around the idea of skepticism and critical thinking. And this sort of came from an article that I believe we've done on the podcast before by Gina Green about teaching behavior analysts to be more skeptical and to use evidence. And she had a whole list of great citations. And we were talking about it, and we said, this just seems like its own topic. We should just talk about the idea of skepticism. So we had 3 different options, and the winner, as voted on by patrons, was, and excuse the foul language, Calling Bullshit, The Art of Skepticism in a Data-Driven World by Bergstrom and West. So that is a more recent book, which will go into the idea of looking at how data can be presented to tell you falsehoods and how we can be wary of the data we're collecting. And while we've been looking at data for a long time, I think this is going to be looking more at some of the global data that BCBAs may not be as familiar with, but is consistently being used more and more because all of our information has been stolen and tracked. So everyone knows everything they want to know about our buying behavior and our web surfing behavior and how that information can be used to make possibly egregious claims. So we're very excited to learn all about data-driven skepticism. For it is something we'll need. Dinah is making a face. It was not her choice. We don't put whose book of the 3. We used to. We have a couple times we put whose book is what, but we did not this time. Although I think I did mention in the follow-up post that if people still wanted to vote, it's too late now. But that you really were hoping one of the other choices won, but it did not. I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, we've never had a direct instruction episode of ABA Inside Track, despite it being on pretty much every poll we've ever done. So I feel your pain. I hear you. So that'll be coming out in sometime in April, like early mid-April, we'll be doing that. But if you want to pick that book up so that you can hear the full episode, that's Calling Bullshit is the name of the book. And if you want to hear the whole thing when it comes out, as well as get access to all of our book club episodes, that's patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. You can subscribe at the $10 level, get all of those episodes right now, and they come with 2 CEs. It's complimentary with the subscription to us. Well, I mean, yeah, you still got to listen and all that stuff and subscribe.
But it's only a fruit salad made of just honeydew, cantaloupe, and 1 grape. That's complimentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's continental. Do you ever hear my joke about continental breakfast, Jaggy?
Nope.
It's really erudite and fancy. Because
You're
continental
hilarious.
breakfast, when you go and it's like you eat like a muffin and something. It's like garbage. It's a garbage breakfast, I think. It's not very good.
No, usually there's a waffle maker, and that's what I'm into.
See, that's not a continental breakfast. That's a regular breakfast. Oh. Continental breakfast usually like you get like a dry croissant and a coffee and a juice, and they're like, there you go, enjoy. it's crummy. And one of the kids asked me, like, why do they call it a continental breakfast? And I said, it's from the old saying, not worth a continental, because it was named after the old versions of money at the early days of the United States, and they're crappy.
Wow. That's
I know.
Good.
That's not true. I made that
up.
up.
True, right?
It's very dad.
But I made up. It's a boring story about 2 separate things using an even boringer illusion. So I thought it was very dad. So you're all welcome. Now you can use that as well and impress absolutely no one. Well, all right, let's move into errata, the section of the show where we kind of talk about related, but sort of unrelated to the topics coming out things. And that usually means we get some emails.
Actually, I have an errata already.
You have an errata?
I have an errata for the episode that we are recording right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You already made a mistake?
Yeah, well, I forgot to include one of the articles we were going to talk about related to assent.
Oh, okay.
So can I add that now?
Yes, you can.
Yes, please do.
So this is an errata for the episode.
I was like, I didn't hear you say it, but maybe
We got distracted. Yes. So we will also like to review participant assent and behavior analytic research, considerations for participants with autism and developmental disabilities by Morris, Dietrich, and Peterson. That's in JABA 2021.
That's
Sorry about
good.
that.
You know what? It's more fun to put it in the errata section than to actually like edit this thoroughly to put it back in there. That's a lot more work. It's a lot easier to just say it now in the section we made for it. So thanks, Diana.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, emails.
I got one email that I want to tell you about. We have one of our listeners wrote in and said that we were the last ones for his first recertification ever. So congratulations, Jesus.
Woo!
You recertified. You did it. You can still keep
2
your
more
job.
years.
Yay.
2 more years until you have to do it again. And our colleague, Dr. Roseanne Lisak, I'm going to shout out to her, who also forgot that she was recertifying and listened to a lot of episodes. And it was funny.
That's what we're here for, I guess.
When she emailed
Yeah.
me and she said, "Thank you, Jackie."
You know, this was not the goal of making the podcast, but it is nice to know that we are there when you need us at the last minute or when you just can't find that webinar that you want to go to. So we're very excited to be a part of anyone's recertification stories. Feel free to send those in. We never get tired of hearing that someone says, "Oh, I just recertified and I listened to your show a bunch." So thank you very much.
Okay, great. That's it.
That's it. We
did
did
it.
All right. Well, it's a brief
Boom.
episode for a long month. We got lots of things coming out, but the first one of those will be coming out next week. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening to ABA Inside Track. Don't forget to subscribe so you're able to get all of these episodes when they appear in your podcast player. And we'll be back next week with the first of those many, many episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye.
Bye.